Yo, yo, mic check 1 2 1 2. My boy wants to join us. Hi, Rocco. You're so delicious and nutritious. Anyway, so I have about 2 hours to kill before I gotta get started with my love work. I wanted to discuss moon phases. And hey, Plume. Hey, Cassandra. Hello, Cassandra Leo. How are you, my darling? Long time no talk. I miss you. How have you been? Daisy! Oh, there's my other one that I have not talked to in a while. My goodness. Hey, Moonrose. Cassandra. Girl, it has been a minute and a half. Big C, how you doing? How you doing? Daisy, how you been, girl? So today I wanted to talk about moon phases, love work. Can somebody remind me what my title is? I want to make sure I incorporate everything in my title. I totally just had a stoner moment. Oh, Plume, I have so much work to do on the eclipse and full moon on the same day. Can you imagine? Alvin, how are you, my other Shireen? Oh my goodness. I miss you guys. There's my boo, Doreen. Oh my gosh, what a great time I chose to come on. I'm so happy. I miss you guys. So this is actually for you, my Miss Bruja Jovita Santa Muerte. I actually am doing this video for you because I promised I would. And I wanted to talk, well, she knows about the moon phases, but I wanted to tell you guys how I use the moon phases. Okay. I mean, it's pretty much how, if anybody that works with the moon probably uses the phases the way I do. Okay. So, I keep it real simple, okay? What I do is I work with the moon and the days of the week. Okay, and I've talked about this in one of my other videos, but I didn't really get into detail. Okay, so Monday, Wednesday, that's pretty much good for anything. It's versatile, right? Tuesday is good for return to sender. It's good for dark work. It's good for binding away, not binding to, but binding away. What else? Tuesday. Reversals. Okay. Then Thursday is good for money, prosperity, abundance, crown of success, that sort of thing, right? Friday, love spell. Saturday, same thing as Tuesday, pretty much. Return to senders and all that. I should have just said Tuesday and Saturday. And then Sunday is good for healing. Okay. So now what I do is I do my work. So, like, say for example, somebody contacts me for prosperity work. Okay. So I wait till at least 3 days after the new moon. Okay. So the new moon, there's certain love spells you could do on the new moon, and it's very powerful. Okay, new moon is pretty much you can do like sending away anything. It's very powerful to get rid of things, right? So like in cursing, hexing, dark work, the new moon is great for that. But a lot of people don't know that the new moon is actually good for love work as well. Okay. Now, after I waited about 3 days after the new moon, okay, to do like prosperity work, um, anything like, bringing in prosperity work, kind of success, love work too. I wait till that Friday. If I don't do the spell on the new moon, then I do it because basically that energy lingers for about 3 days before and 3 days after. Okay, so like for example, a new moon, the energy starts 3 days prior and it continues for 3 days after. So it gives you pretty much plenty of time to schedule your spell work. Okay, so I wait until the moon is probably it's a waxing moon, but it's a half. Not a crescent, but a half moon. Okay, you have more of the power to bring things in. Okay, you can do it when it's a waxing crescent and just looks like a little toenail or whatever, but I prefer to wait till it's at a waxing half moon, right? To do love work, bringing in prosperity, whatever. Okay. And then the full moon is actually very versatile. I always do everything on the full moon. Okay. You could even do hexes, curses, shit like that. I prefer not to do bindings and stuff like that, binding away on a full moon, but you can do it. I find it to be much more powerful to use the dark moon. So the dark moon, like if you do a breakup spell on the dark moon, that shit'll fuck somebody up. Okay. And then full moon, I keep that for the same, as the waxing, like prosperity work, kind of success, love work, all that good stuff. Okay. And then of course the waning moon. Now the waning moon is best for taking shit away, releasing stuff, binding people away, breakup spells, curses, hexes, dark work, blockbuster work, road opener work. Okay, you don't have to. Now you could do like a blockbuster or road opener on the new moon too, but that's a powerful energy. So I mean, I prefer to do blockbusters like about 3 days prior to the new moon or anytime throughout the moon phase. But like I said, I match the days of the week and the moon phase. So when you do that, hi Ezra, how you doing, boo? When you do that, thank you. When you do that, what the fuck was I saying now? I totally forgot. Okay. Oh, 3 days prior. Okay, you actually give it time for the moon to actually take whatever it is that you're trying to take away. Okay? And you can even, like if you're trying to get rid of bad habits, shit like that, you could do it on the dark moon or the new moon. So, Moon Rose is right, the full is mine. Yes, full moon's my favorite. That's my favorite moon. So, when you guys mix it, like, of course, if you have to do something urgently, then do it, of course. But if you can afford to do it on the right day of the week and on the right moon, then you're all good. It's much better. That's what I feel. Also, I'm sure most of you guys know, but for anybody who's um, not familiar with working with the moon, Plume says, any advice for working with a saint who won't answer your petition? Well, if they're not answering your petition, it might be for a reason. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. That's actually something I wanted to talk to you guys about. Okay, so if you work on something, you work on something, you work on something, you work on something, and that shit doesn't happen, there's a reason for it. Now, especially if it's pertaining to another person, another individual. With somebody's free will, you're asking the saint to bring someone back to you or something like that, or let's say for a specific job, and it's not happening, there's a fucking reason for it, okay? So, take the hint. Oh, shit. Thank you. Can you hear me now? My mic is low. Hold on, let me try this. Has it been low this whole time? It has? Can you hear me better now? I must have had I wish somebody told me. I had my hand on the damn thing. Shit. Oh, it was off and on? Okay. It was definitely my hand, though, because I moved. Anyway, regardless. So what part, did you guys hear any of what I just said or no? It just happened now? Don't tell me my shit is full. All right, let me do this. I'm going to hang this up. Let me try this. Something's wrong with my damn, let me try this. Let me try my headphones. Sorry. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Let me know if you guys lose me again. Okay, perfect. All right. So, what I was saying before. Yeah. If Rob, I know I gotta call you, but don't be mad at me. It's not that I love you all, you know that. It's just like, I like have no time to do anything. Anyway, so listen. Yeah. Why didn't y'all tell me you're sitting here? You can't hear me. Nobody's saying anything. Thank you, Mama Doreen, my sis. Oh, by the way, Bruja, where's she at? There you are. Jovita Santa Muerte Perez. That is my sister witch. I'm shouting her out. She's awesome, you guys. She has a group on Facebook. I love all of you, no, for real. So, where was I saying? What was I saying? Okay, yes. If I'm only speaking the truth, baby doll. So if you're working on something or working the shit out of it and it's not happening, there's a reason. I miss all of you guys. Seriously. And I always tell anyone, all my clients, straight the fuck up. I'm not a liar. I'm not about the bullshit, okay? I'm not going to sit here and fucking, you see these stupid ass motherfuckers leaving stupid ass shit all over my YouTube channel talking about, oh, my name is Crystal Reyes or whatever, and so told me, so Dr. Paul, whatever the fuck, can get my man back in 48 hours and then go into this whole spiel and give the whole email. I've had a million testimonials. Not one person, first of all, wanted their name to be shown, for one thing. I had to always screenshot it, and they would use their initials, or I just would cut their name out. They all want to be anonymous, and they won't go out of their way to be like, oh, and you can reach them by calling her at, whatever, and emailing her at this, and this. Bullshit, right? Nobody can guarantee that when you're working with someone's free will, nobody can guarantee that they can return that person to you, especially in any given period of time. Okay? Nobody. And if they tell you that, fucking run the other way, because they're lying. So if somebody says, I can guarantee, you go hire a spellcaster, and they say to you, I can guarantee your man or your woman back by X amount of time, they're full of shit. Okay? Now, they could tell you, oh, you may see signs in this amount of time. You might see movement in this amount of time. Whatever the case is, that's different. But for them to be like, I guarantee your man's going to be back in 48 hours. Fuck no. Okay? No. So, run the other way. So, yes, and Jovita Santa Muerte Press, she's a sister, she's a practitioner. She would, if you always want to make sure that you go to somebody you trust, okay? Somebody's going to just tell you whatever the fuck you want to hear just to get your money, then something ain't right, okay? Another thing, be patient with your work. Okay, if you do a spell for yourself, or if you go to a spellcaster or whatever, I have people email me and they're like, oh, I hired a spellcaster and it's been 4 days and there's been nothing. no movement. I'm like, now granted, of course, we all practitioners have had those clients that manifest like this, like overnight or practically like right away. Okay, we've all had those. It just happens, and I feel like those people that happens to, they're just meant to be together, and they just had a small blockage, and it just took that bit of that work and that bit of time to just remove it. Okay, but if you've been broken up with somebody for 3 months or more, and you can't expect your shit to just happen overnight. When people email me with that shit, I'm just like, most of the time I won't even respond, because I'm like, if you're already starting to panic and it's only been a week or whatever the case is, or 2 weeks even, Like, that's not even a whole moon cycle. Like, yes, there's people that I've had people manifest overnight. I've had people take a few days. I've had people take a few weeks. I mean, everybody manifests differently. So yes, there are people that have manifested quickly, you know, but not everybody will. So, and that's just not for when you have a spellcaster. That's for yourself too. You have to be patient. You know, I find that the ones that are not patient, the ones that are constantly like worrying about it and stressing it, those are the ones that take the longest. Those, and I almost feel like, for one, it's your vibration is not matching. Like, you're signaling a vibration of doubt. Okay. And so and not to mention, second, the spirit world tends to be like, oh, you think we work for you, bitch? Oh, you think like you're just want, like, really? No. Because the more you try to rush the spirit world, the more they're going to be like, fuck yeah. It's not Walt Disney. Exactly. This is not Harry Potter. This isn't fucking Bewitched where you can wiggle your fucking nose and just be like, oh, poof. You know, the man that you haven't been with in 3 months, 6 months, whatever, is back, tomorrow. And so just keeping it 100, keeping it 1,000. And some people are blessed. Some people are it's, and I'll be honest with you, most of my testimonials, they're very, a few days or whatever, a week. Well, of course, though, that's why they're giving me a testimonial. The ones that take a month, I don't get a testimonial from most of the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? That those are the ones that are like, shit, holy shit, this was so fast. Of course, that's what they're going to write a testimonial about. When it takes a month or more than that, they're not going to write a testimonial about that. I wish they would, but exactly. They told me it was done with the devil and she used that much money. Huh? Jessica, no. You're not. You're not like that at all. You're not. You are doubtful, but other than that, exactly. Ancient visions, definitely. Time is different in the spiritual world than in the physical world. Yes, yes. There came to a point where I almost didn't post testimonials because they would specify how many days it took, and I didn't want other people, that I'm working with seeing it and have it, I want them to just expect it. Yes, that I want them to do. I want them to expect the manifestation. Yes, but I didn't want them to, expect like, oh, they see this testimonial and they put, 1 week or whatever the case is, for all my clients, I love you all for any testimonial you give me. I really appreciate it, but please try not to specify the time frame if it's been, under 2 weeks, because I don't want people to get disappointed and then lower their vibration because they see me posting testimonials of people that get their stuff very fast, and they just, when it hits that, I notice the clients, when it hits that time frame that they're reading and it hasn't happened for them yet, they're like, what the fuck, but, I appreciate all the testimonials, don't get me wrong, but there was a few that I almost didn't post because it had the time frame on it, and I didn't want anybody to get jealous. I know. You know what? I'm trying not to smoke on this shit because it's so unladylike, but I don't give a fuck. Neither is cursing, and I do that all the time. Constantly doing work, yes. Do I personally have to keep myself protected, constantly doing work for others, and ever worry about any negativity backfire coming onto you for helping? Okay, so let me go over this a little bit. So yes, protected myself 100,000,000%. Yes. Okay. Every protection thing that you could possibly have in life, I do. Okay. And sis knows about this too. All right. And and cleansing. Okay, we're constantly cleansing. And this is why I don't like to do dark work, and I really don't take dark work clients. And just so everybody knows, my sister here is who I would be referring you guys out to if I don't take your case. But so it's because of the cleansing. Like, you know, every time you do dark work in your home, in your sacred space, you have to cleanse the whole fucking thing from top to bottom. I mean, not just your typical cleanse. Like, you have to, you know, clean it, like, physically from top to bottom, which is fine. Of course, I clean my house anyway. But I'm talking about, like, you have to, you know, Palo Santo it, sage it, do a floor sweep, do a mop with some herbs and stuff like that. You have to cleanse the shit out of it. And, you know, people don't understand. You have to, then you got to cleanse yourself. You have to do a whole, you know, cleansing on yourself. Make sure you don't pick up that negativity. I mean, it's a bitch. It's a pain in the fucking ass, you know? And so yes, people, yeah, working for people, you definitely have to protect yourself, especially when you're doing dark work. Doing any kind of work, healing spells, any kind of work, because you can definitely, when you're, that's what people think is fucking, like, you know, so easy. Like, oh, they see our videos and be like, oh, she's just putting names on a candle and this and that and oil and herbs. Bitch, you have no idea. Like, you're connecting yourself to that person, and if you're doing it on someone else, you're connecting to that person as well. So sometimes, like, if they have a bad day, I feel that shit until I cut the cord. Then you have to cut the cord. It's a bitch. And so the clients that I have, let's say they take a month to manifest. That means for a month, I'm fucking connected to them until I finally decide to say, okay, you know, I'm done, and cut the cord. So it's not like what people think it is for when you're doing work for others, if you do it the right way. Sabrina, I totally missed what you were talking about. Same subject. Okay, Cassandra. I gotta send you my new number, Bill. Like an empath, yes. Like, seriously, when a lot of my clients, I'll text them or call them, and they'll be like, holy shit, I was just going through this. Or I'll email them or whatever, and they'll be like, oh, I was just going through that. I just was thinking about you. It's because I picked up on that shit. I feel that shit. Sometimes, like, they won't be able to get a hold of me, and then when I contact them back, it's when they need me the most. Because sometimes I'm busy. Like, sometimes I'll go, like, they'll message me and I won't be able to get back to them for hours. But when I do get back to them, it's when they need me the most. $1,800? What? Holy fuck. What the hell? What in the good... What the hell? I mean, shit, girl. Oops. This made me drop my phone. Well, I'm not saying that love work is cheap, because it's not cheap, and it shouldn't be cheap, because, you know, I mean, it depends on what your definition of cheap is, but I mean, there's a lot of work to it. But $1,800, that's close to that's damn near $2,000. That's a lot of fucking money. That's, to me, and I'm not trying to down anybody's hustle, but I'm just saying that's a bit much. That's more than a bit much. That's fucking ridiculous. So now, did she like buy your ex a car to get her back or something? Like, what the fuck? Did she give a fucking motorcycle as a offering to her spirits? Like, what the fuck? My goodness. See, that's, you know, monthly house note. What the hell kind of house you living in? Shit. My rent is $700 a month. That's just like 4 months for me. Whew. My goodness. Mm-mm. So yes, be patient with your work. Be patient with your own work. Be patient with, if you have a spellcaster, be patient and just know it's coming. Know it's going to happen. Be confident. The universe, one thing I will notice, they will not leave you empty-handed. If you show gratitude to them, and I always tell all my clients to say thank you. Okay, say thank you before they even give you anything. Say thank you to the spirits. And damn sure when you get what it is you want, say thank you. Give an offering. Oh, yes. Moroccan men. Okay, Morocco is very heavy with witchcraft. For one thing, the ancestry is powerful. Okay. And Rocco, what are you eating? Give me that. I hear him crunching on something. They are protected and by their ancestors, and I guarantee you they got a sister, grandma, mother, somebody that's doing something to protect them on top of that. So they're kind of hard too. Now remember, yes baby, my email's still the same. What the fuck is I saying? I need to stop smoking so much weed. I totally lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. We were talking about Moroccan men. Now, keep in mind, we're all working with somebody's free will, no matter what race they are, black, white, Puerto Rican, Arab, Indian, whatever the fuck they are, it's still free will. Okay? Free will is free fucking will. Okay? So we can manipulate it. We can put thoughts in their head. We can make them remember. We can make them miss you. We can make them do a lot of shit. But ultimately, it's up to them to act on it. Okay, and I also noticed the younger the target, the harder they are. Especially when it comes to love work. Right? Right. It's so true. The younger the target, the harder they are, the longer they take to manifest. And it's for several different reasons, okay? Especially when you're dealing with men. I would say men under from the age of 25 and younger are so difficult because, for one thing, they're stubborn as a motherfucker, okay? They try to be macho. They try to be cool. They show off for their friends. They have so many things. They got this bravado, and they're trying to be, the dominant one. And so they're hard to, you can make them miss you, make them think about you, make them want you, make them want to call you, make them do all this stuff, make them want to be with you, but they have to act on it. At the end of the day, it's still their choice. It's still their choice. And anybody who comes to me and asks me, I will never. When people email me, they're like, oh, is this 100% guaranteed effective? I'm like, if I could say yes and just to get your fucking money, but I'm not in the business of scamming people or lying to people or bullshitting people. It's just not in my fucking blood, okay? A lot of people will tell you a lot of shit to get your money. I'm not going to. Noah's here? Where's Noah? Hi, Noah. More if the client waits about a years or months just to find a witch and say they need help. Oh, girl, that is a good topic. Okay. Please, if you find yourself in a situation, okay, and you break up with your boyfriend or your girlfriend, do not fucking wait forever to get help, okay? 3 to 6 months or 3 months and above is very difficult. 3 to 6 months is pretty much my cap. Like, I won't even really, I'll share if somebody comes to me and it's been over 6 months since they broke up with someone or haven't had communication with someone, I will tell them straight up, it's going to be very difficult. Nothing's impossible, but don't expect, So don't take your time. If you get in a situation and you feel like it's not just your typical breakup where you're going to make up and get back together tomorrow, get some fucking help. I mean, or do something yourself, Do something yourself. If you can't afford a spellcaster now, a lot of people will contact me and say, oh, I just did a spell last week and it hasn't worked. Or I just did a spell, 2 weeks ago and it hasn't worked. And I asked them, well, what made you choose to do magic? Do you do you practice magic? Do you work with spirits? Do you give them offerings? Do you do this and that and the third? And they're like, no. Okay, well, in other words, anybody can do anything. Anybody can practice magic, okay? Anybody can learn. Somebody that doesn't have it in their blood and never did it before can become powerful and gifted at it with time and practice. Just like anything else, practice makes perfect. But don't come into it and just be not knowing anything about anything, never picked up a candle before first spell, and then expect for your first spell to be this fucking success. Granted, some people have that shit in their blood and they can do that, but not everybody. I'm just keeping it real. This is all a joke. Jehovah's Crusader. Are you a Jehovah's Witness? Yes, I feel like I was born a witch. Look at this asshole, Jehovah's Crusader. He's got nothing better to do than to go in people's chat rooms and talk shit. Probably lives with your mom. You have probably no girlfriend or no boyfriend. You don't get any dick or any pussy. And you have nothing better to do than to come up here. I'm music. You're so funny. How long did it take you to think of that one, you fucking pussy? Please, please. I love people like you. I live to fucking roast people like you. LOL, funny. Yeah, you're funny. You're hilarious. You have not said one fucking funny statement. If you're gonna come in and troll people, at least know how to do it, pussy. Raise me hoochie. Ha 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 ha. Yo, did you take your medication tonight or what? Did you take your meds? Sitting on your computer in your mama's basement. Raise me hoochie. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck is you talking about? Ha ha ha, LOL. I'm not blocking him yet because he's entertaining me with his stupidity. Please, continue. Try to come up with something witty at least. Ask me one question, hoochie. Is JC a baby killer? Who the fuck is JC? Revelation 11:18, Jesus will destroy us. Well, I guess we're all doomed then, huh? You need psychological counseling because clearly you have issues. Read your Bible. Read your Bible, hoochie. How about this? Eat my dick from the back, pussy. You ran so fast. This guy's a fucking, you're slow. Are you slow or are you just retarded? You scared. I'm scared? What am I scared of? Okay, you're boring me. Nothing you're saying is witty, funny, smart, entertaining. You're just dumb. So let me go ahead and just block you. There you go. You're blocked. So anywho, what a fucking mongoloid. Anyways, some knowledge, yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I should have blocked that moron a long time ago. JC, he must be somebody that knows me because I do know of a guy named JC. And maybe that's just coincidence, but fucking weirdo. Anyway, let's continue. It was fun. Yeah. I wish he was a little smarter, though. Could come up with some more witty commentary, but he was just saying stupid shit the whole time. So, anywho, y'all, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So, just be patient with your magic, whether you're doing it for yourself, whether you're having someone do it. Just know it's going to be. And somebody asked me about a saint. Oh, Jesus Christ. Is Jesus Christ a baby killer? Is that what he was saying? Fucking weirdo. They had no good comebacks. Like, they were just boring. You're gonna come in here and try to roast me. You better bring your A game. I wish he had a profile picture. I would have tore his ass up. But anyhow. So, yes. Okay, so somebody asked me if I keep petitioning a saint and they don't respond. What do I do? Stop asking for it. Because there's a reason that it's not happening. Sometimes there's something better in store for you. Exactly, Moonrose. Exactly. So does anybody else? Christine, hey, Bill. I'm sorry I missed all these people saying hello. That Jehovah do needs to know that it's a huge mistake to mess with a spiritual woman. You're damn right. I'm just trying to see. I'm trying to catch up with what. Oh, you guys are so cute. I love you all. How long is too long in your opinion? In my opinion. Okay. See that? Now, it depends on what. Okay, now, another thing. Sometimes one spell isn't gonna cut it, okay? That's why, like, for example, when I quote a client, I hear out their situation and then I base my price based on how many spells I think I'm gonna have to do. So, you know, if they paid one price and I'll continue working it until the spirits just say, cut it out, you know, just done. So when it comes to love work, I mean, too long, I think at some point, I think after like 5 or 6 months, if it still hasn't manifested, then, you know, not to say that it won't, but I think after 6 months would probably be the limit, in my opinion. But with love, I mean, it could be like a divine timing thing. It could be there's a reason why now. With anything else, so you're talking about prosperity or something like that, you know, I think even 2 months would be, because you should be seeing, when it comes to work that doesn't involve free will, you should see movement on that, you know, at least by a month or 2 at the most. Working with somebody's free will is a whole different story, you know. Yeah, 6 months. Not to say, you know, not to say that it'll never happen, but sometimes at the 6 month period, if you've been working something for so long and it hasn't happened, there's it's probably time to, you know, still be positive about it, but I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't want to not give you hope or make you lower your vibration by telling you. But I think, you know, it's either one of 2 things. Either it's a divine timing thing where be willing to what? Oh, love blood spells? Yeah, I mean, because I'm a fucking asshole. That's why, yeah, I'm working for that long, because I don't like, for me, for my clients, because I'm a perfectionist. So I will fucking work until, you know, about 6 months. At that point, I'm just like, okay, if it hasn't happened by then it might not be meant to be. But yeah, that's only because I'm psychotic, okay? And I'm like a perfectionist, and if something, you know, I don't like to have that blip on my record. I don't like to have that flaw in my success rate. So I will continue. But, is there another troll? I hid him, so I don't even see what he's saying. Is he talking shit? Oh. You do? I don't hear anything. See, I don't hear spirits. Exactly. Oh, no, goddess. Oh, I thought they were talking. We had a troll in here a few minutes ago. Not you, boo. I'm a witch. I hear male spirit. I don't hear. Some people are blessed and they can hear spirits like Jovita. Are you still here, Doreen? Oh, okay. Hey, she could hear spirits, and her family could hear spirits, but I don't hear spirits. I have never even seen a spirit. The most is I feel them. I feel them and they put thoughts in my head. But other than that, like, I don't hear them out loud. I don't see them in front of my face. My hairs on my arms will stand up and I'll just feel like chills and stuff like that. I'll know when they're present, and how they tell me what to do is they'll make me think about it. I'm gonna play it back. And that's another thing, like in some of my videos, like I'll play it back and I'll see like orbs and shit. And I'm like, holy shit, I didn't see that when I was in the room, but when looking back at it, which video had a really good one? One of my videos, I'm trying to think of which one it was. Was it the Witch's Protection Bottle one? One of them. I'll have to look back. But there's a few with orbs, but there's one or two that is really like you can't miss them. Even Belinda Reedy commented on it. She's like, holy shit, you got orbs all over you here. Miss Shireen, is it easier to cast spells for yourself or other people? What spells are the ones you like to cast the most? Which spells are you the best at casting? Okay, so of course it's always easier to cast a spell for yourself. 100,000,000% easier. I think that's just a given, but because I guess that's just me, because when I cast for other people, it's a lot more, pressure, and I feel more like, I'm more technical with it. When it's on myself, it's like, I just kind of slap it together. But what spells do I like to cast the most for myself? Prosperity. Money. My sis calls me out on that all the time. I money spells for myself. That's what I like to do. What am I best at casting? Honey, I'm good at casting everything. But I'll tell you what my least favorite thing to cast is, I don't do curse work for clients. I don't do hex work for clients. There's only one client I did a hex for, and that's because she's a close friend of mine and somebody really fucked her over. And I even took it down off my channel because people were emailing me asking me for hex work, and this was before I met my sis here. And I was like, I don't do them. And they're like, oh, well, I seen this video you did and you said it was for a client. And so I took it down because, people were annoying me about that. But I don't like to do curse work, period. I won't. Now, if somebody fucks with me or someone I love, it's on and popping. But to actually just go out of my way to curse somebody, it's too much fucking hassle. It's just way too much hassle. But her voice can be very harsh at times. But she does have ancestors that are male aspect that I feel. Oh, also some sis thinks it's I don't want to call you by your first name here because you don't have it on your thing. But you're welcome, Big C. But yes, it could be Santa Muerte because I do work with her. I can't wait to go back and listen to this. But yeah, so I love to cast all spells, and I'm good at casting all spells. Not trying to be cocky, but it's the truth. But I hate to do like I don't like doing separation work, and I don't like doing hexes. I'll do separation work like if there's a side hoe situation or a bitch that stole somebody's man, something like that. I'll do it. But for the most part, like if it's, say it's like somebody's trying to get with a married dude, you know, I've taken one case like that, but it was extenuating circumstances. But I won't really fuck with that. You know, if someone's married, then they're married. Like, leave it alone. But I only really do it if a side hoe took somebody's man, then I'm gonna fuck her up. She ain't gonna keep him. So, is there a way I can stop myself from dreaming too much so I can sleep better at night? That's a good question. Stop yourself from dreaming. Well, what you can do is during a waning moon or even a dark moon in this case, but be careful what you ask for though. Don't burn a bridge you're still standing on. So exactly, dreams could be very, very useful. If you're having bad dreams, your ancestors might be trying to warn you about something. I tend to dream things and I feel like my dreams are happening. I need to calm this down. If they're that vivid and if they bring you a bad feeling, like something bad, you know, look into that, because get a reading, read your cards, you know, do something, because they could be trying to warn you. But if you really, hey Noah, thank you, boo. Thanks. I'm going to try my best to do this more. I've just been so busy. I miss you though. It's good to see ya. But yeah, so if you insist on you not wanting to dream, you should have me on your channel one day, Noah. No, I'm just kidding. I would like to have you on mine, definitely. I'm trying to get my sis over here to come on my channel for an interview. But yeah, so if you insist on not wanting to dream and you're sure, you need to think about that for a little bit, okay, before you ask for it. But if you really don't want them, then I would do a spell on the dark moon and try to release those dreams. And what you could do is you could take 3 nails and you can bind them with the string, and then you know, bang them into a tree, and what you're going to do is you're going to bless and empower the nails as if they're your dreams or your nightmares, okay? And then bind them away with the string, each one, and then take it, leave enough so you could put it into, you know, you're just going to bind like where the little head is, and then you put it into the tree and you leave your dreams in that tree. You could do that. That's another spell you could do for bad habits or addiction. But I miss Noah too. I miss all of y'all. But it can be warnings or someone sending something. Exactly. That's why I highly, highly, highly don't recommend doing that for your dreams. But oh yeah, Noah actually had a interview with what's her name? What's her name? I can't even remember. I've been watching her since she was a little kid. You just had her on your channel. Her name escapes me right now at the moment. The fuck is it? It starts with A. Akasha Wolf. I love her. I watched her grow up. That was a really good, yes, Akasha Wolf. That was a really good interview. I really loved that. I still have yet to meet Lady Grave Dancer. Tequila. She's on my Facebook. I would love to meet her. I've never had a chance to meet her. I'm dying to meet her. Do you think a mass binding spell would work, for example, to keep all women away from your man, or to bind a group of people from harming you? What you can do is bind him to you. You know, you can do a fidelity spell
But that's pretty much the extent of that. You can bind him to you, and then put the intention. You can add coriander to that, coriander and cumin, and specifically empower that for fidelity. And that should work. Make sure you bind him to you, and make sure when you do it, you speak, I bind your heart, I bind your mind, I bind your spirit, and I bind your body. Like, meaning your body parts. Oh, it's lonely. But Alexis, is there something I could do to help me understand them more so I could feel in control? Here's what you should do. If you're still in the room, I don't know if you are. But you should write down your dreams, right? You have a notebook by your bed. Every time you wake up, the second you open your eyes, before you even brush your teeth or wash your ass, you grab the notebook and you write exactly what you dreamt, right? And then you can interpret those dreams by going online. Google's your best fucking friend, I think, when it comes to this. There's lots of different meanings to dreams. It depends on what context they're in. Look them up, write down, exactly what the meanings are, and kind of like interpret. I would meditate too. I would try to meditate, maybe put on like some subliminal music, and like, my hair's all over the place, and like, just kind of like try to clear your mind and see where your mind takes you. And I can probably assure you that wherever your mind does take you, that's the message they're trying to give you. This is what I always do. Like when it comes to my thoughts, because that's how here's how I communicate with spirit, okay? The tarot. And my sis taught me a good trick over here. I'm actually charging them right now, but these shells, I write messages on the inside, like this one says obstacles, and I use them to clarify my, like when I do a reading, to clarify my cards. I use 3 different decks when I'm reading at the same time, and now I'm incorporating these shells. I've been testing them out. I'm still charging them. I'm going to test them out and see how that works. Like I'm going to test them on my own self before I use them on clients. But Doreen actually taught me that trick, and it's a very good idea. You take shells and you put little messages, things you can interpret it, shells or dice or whatever, and you put them on your ancestor altar or in your angel, on each of your, I did them on each of my spirit altars, okay? And then I asked them to charge them for 3 days each, and then use them. I do the same with my tarot cards, but as far as like trying to, control your dreams, that could be an intention you could put out there. Instead of asking for them to take away, you can do like a like a peace and harmony spell, to bring you peace so that you're able to sleep at night. Try drinking lavender tea. Lavender actually has a cleansing property and it's protective. So if you drink, and plus it's good to help you sleep. If you drink some lavender tea and before you boil it, put the intention into the lavender, put it in your hands and bless it, and tell it to bring you peace and a good night's sleep, a good night rest, and then put it in your tea and then drink it. What should you have on your altar? Everybody's different. Okay, so like the standard is you have the 4 elements, like, earth, wind, fire, water. So everything has to be represented. So, something to represent earth, like a rock, something to represent water. I actually had a beta fish on one of my altars. Sam died. He died a few months ago, but I had him for 5 years. So, the person who gave it to me had him for 3 years, and then I had him for 2. So he's 5 years old. But, something to represent water, like a feather would represent wind, air. So basically earth, air, fire, water, some candles, whatever. Like, other than that, it depends on the spirit that the altar's for. It depends on, if it's an angel altar, your ancestor altar. I always make sure each of my spirits has a glass of water, no matter what. A fresh glass of water, okay? A candle, and snack like bread. I keep bread on my Santissima altar. I keep bread on all their altars. It depends on how how much you want to go with, like how far you want to go with it. But feathers, you could like I turned a feather into a wand and I put like jewels on it and I used it. I blessed it as my wand. There's a lot of things you could do with feathers. What's crazy? So before I started, Arabian Conjure as a business was a complete accident. Like the whole goal was I was gonna sell herbs and stones and oils and stuff. That was my goal. I never had any intention on doing work for people. Okay. It started with a couple people coming to me for help, and I was like, okay, and I did it, and they got really good results. And then they told someone, and then they asked me for help, and then I did work for them, and they got really good results. And then they told someone. It was like a whole like domino effect. And then this I started it pretty much by accident in May. Well, now we're in January, so it's been like 7 months, and I was working another job before. And those of you that have been following me from the very beginning know I actually did a video because there was a whole issue with my job. They almost laid me off and shit. And I did a spell to keep the job. And I actually got to keep the job. But then it was crazy. A couple months later, I ended up quitting because I couldn't handle both client work and working there. So, it's been a blessing. But what I was saying about feathers is I kept seeing turkeys everywhere, right? Fucking everywhere. I would see turkeys. And then one day I found a turkey feather, which you don't really find turkey feathers like that often. And so I looked it up because I knew it meant something, and it meant abundance. It meant I was going to be blessed with abundance. And I was like, oh shit, cool. And turned out it was 100% accurate. They did bless me, like they did very much. And so if you see turkeys, anyone, if you see a family of turkeys everywhere and you find a turkey feather, chances are you're going to be blessed with some financial abundance and prosperity. So yeah, so each feather that I find, I keep it no matter what. I seen 3 at a, and this is how I knew it meant something, because I would see not just one at a time, I would see 3 at a time, and it was like a family. It was like a mama turkey and a father turkey and a little baby turkey, and it was so cute. I even took a picture of it whenever it happened, and it was so crazy because I was talking to my uncle about it. We were driving around smoking some weed, and I'm talking to my uncle, and I'm like, yeah, I keep fucking seeing turkeys everywhere. And all of a sudden, we look over, and there was some turkeys. That's when I was like, okay, I have to look it up. Seagulls. Oshun is the first thing that came to mind. Oshun, Miss Boricua. Maybe Oshun might be calling out to you. She's a goddess of the ocean. Hey, Adrienne. Good night, Big C. I definitely will. Now that I know you guys enjoy it, I definitely will. Good night, babe. Yes, you're right. They are. I've heard about that. Hey, Miko. Hey, Miko. Yameya. Oh, I thought Oshun was the goddess of the sea, no? I don't know. I don't work with the Orishas. I thought Oshun was connected to the ocean. She's the goddess of rivers. Which one? Which one? Oshun or Yemaya? You guys have to correct me. So that's one thing I don't really know much about is the Orishas. They're Oshun. Oh, okay. So I knew she was associated. So Yemaya then. So Yemaya, whichever one is associated with the ocean, I would. So Oshun is the goddess of rivers. Okay. And Yemaya is the goddess of the ocean. Okay. Okay. She says she has to do with water, love, fertility. I keep seeing these seagulls after love spell work. Right. Yep. So she might be calling out to you. See, my goddess is Hecate. I work with Hecate and Santa Muerte, and I work St. Jude. Okay, so these are my saints: St. Anthony, St. Jude. Of course, St. Michael, St. Raphael, but there are archangels mainly. Archangel Uriel. Of course, St. George. St. George is a big one, and not a lot of people know about St. George, but he's one of my main saints because I come from where my father's from. St. George is very big there. Who else? So St. Anthony, St. George, St. Jude, St. Matthew. Of course, Santa Muerte is my main one. Who else? That's pretty much. I know I'm missing a few, but I can't. Do you put your saints with Santa Muerte? No. No, I have a separate altar. Oh, St. Martin, St. Barbara, St. Martha. Why? Forgive you for what? Did you devote to her and then stop? Of course you can. You could tell her you're sorry. Of course you can. Matter of fact, it's funny you said that because I said something I shouldn't have said, and I was upset one day, and I talked shit, and I apologize. It depends. Like, I don't know what you did, but she guided you when you started. I see, and so you set up an altar for her, and then you took it down. Because that's actually, I was upset and I said that to her, but I would never do that. And I felt so bad for even saying it. I was like, I'm just going to take down this fucking altar. I was so mad. But I apologized right away. And she is amazing. Okay, so Hecate, a lot of people will devote to her and then stop because the best moon phase for love spells. Okay, the full moon is the best. You could do certain spells in the new moon, okay? And the waxing. So between the new moon and the full moon is actually best for love spells. Hello, no one is here for... No one is here for what? I think we had another troll. Well, clearly we have enough for you to have joined us, huh? I don't know. He said, hello, no one is here. Well, sorry, I only have 29 people here. I only have 1,000 some odd subscribers, asshole. Hey, Steph. So question for black magic, what moon is good? For like hex work, curse work, breakup spells, the new moon, the dark moon, and the waning moon. How long does it take for love spells to work? Like, does it start working after the candles are burned or during the casting? Okay, so we had a whole conversation about this. So everybody's different. Everybody manifests differently, okay? As soon as you light the spell, it's sending out energy, okay? But it all depends on the situation. It depends on, some people literally can manifest manifest overnight. Some people could take days, some could take weeks, some could take a month, some could take a few months. It all depends. It depends. So nobody could ever say, now, if it's gonna manifest, usually you'll see some movement within a month. Okay, movement. So you'll see signs, you'll, hear from that person, something like that. Okay. But as far as to actually get them back in a relationship, it depends on the person. Everybody's different. Some people are more stubborn than others. If you rewind to the beginning of the video, I talked all about that. Oh, for a breakup spell. Well, I mean, that's something else that it all depends, but I've had clients, that started fighting right away, like immediately. But again, it's anytime you're dealing with now love spells and separation work. Hey, Tamika. Hey, hippie chick. Oh, you mentioned some people working with Hecate, and I'm so sorry. Thank you. Let me go back to that, and then you guys can remind me what I was talking about now, because I'll forget. So Hecate, she withdraws. Okay, Hecate is her name actually means something to do with like withdrawing, like being withdrawn. I forget exactly what her name means, but it's like she keeps her distance. Like when you need her, she's there. When you call upon her, she'll be there. If you ask her for something, now I don't ask my goddess for bullshit things. She's a very serious goddess, but people will just because when she first comes into your life, she's real active. Okay, she's like, hey, I'm here, but then after a while, especially people that are new to the craft, she'll kind of, when she sees that you're good, she'll kind of back away, but she's still there. People think that she completely disappears, but she's not. So they just stop working with her or they take down her altar because they think that she left them. But when in reality, she didn't leave them. She's just very withdrawn. Matter of fact, she was very quiet with me for this was just like a month or two ago. And I even asked her, I'm like, Mama Hecate, where you been at? Like, where are you at? And all of a sudden, I swear to God, and everything I love, my song for her came on. And this song, I don't hear it. It's on Pandora, but I even thumbs up it so I could hear it more often. But it barely comes on unless she's here, unless her presence is here. Okay, it's called Mother. That's how she first introduced herself to me. That's how she told me what to call her, because I had no idea about her. And her name kept popping up. She was reaching out to me for sure. So then when I finally, even my dog, she brought me to my dog. He's a hound dog. He's a beagle. He howls. So she really loves him. So because I stopped, most of y'all know, I stopped practicing for 9 years. And after my mom passed away, I just was like, fuck it. And I stopped practicing for 9 years. Well, about 2 years ago, I got back into it. I can't believe it's been 2 years now. And she first started coming to me, and I had no idea what to call her. So finally I sat down and I was like, okay, so now I know who you are. I'm like, what do I call you? And I had my Pandora on, like always, and the song Mother in Arabic came on. And I was like, holy shit, she's the mother crone goddess, and it made sense. I was like, oh, okay. So I made that her and my song. So she lets me know she's here when that song comes on. So I hadn't heard the song in fucking months, even thumbs upping it and everything. And all of a sudden, I asked her, Mama Hecate, where you at? And boom, the song comes on. It was like so amazing. I guess you had to be there, but when your dog is pregnant. Oh, she loves dogs. So Kiara, I stopped practicing for 9. Get out, Noah. Did you really? No way. That is weird. And I started when I was 13, and you started when you were 13 too. I know that. Do I work with runes? Honestly, Plum, no, I don't. Yes, 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 yes. That's where I met you and Shireen. Where's I haven't seen is it Calvin? I haven't seen Calvin. How's he doing? I don't think he's been posting a lot, has he? I gotta check out his channel. 9 years, and when I start, see, 9 years, and then something brings you back, right? Some major event happens to bring you back. You want to know what mine was? This is crazy. So I'm a troublemaker, y'all. Okay, and most of you guys know I went through a really fucked up time in my life where I lost everything. Just my life went to complete shit. And it wasn't throughout the whole 9 years. Only like the last maybe 2 years of that 9 years, it was complete hell. So I go to Walmart and I get into an argument with this bitch that works behind the counter, right? Well, I have a trespassing warning from Walmart from like 10 years ago, literally 10 years ago, for beating up a girl at the Walmart. And so they trespassed me, but this was in Florida, right? So I get into an argument with this customer service girl because her man was the loss prevention guy, and I'm there to cash my check, and he's looking at me, and she's getting mad, and I'm not even like, bitch, check your man, don't check me. So long story short, we get into a whole thing in the Walmart, and so the bitch cashed my check, so she had my name. And something just told this bitch to look up my name in the system, and sure hell enough, because Walmart never deletes that shit, I had a trespass warning. So this spiteful fucking bitch decides to call the cops on me. And yeah, so I got arrested for that shit. So that's what got me back into my practice. I was like, I cannot get in trouble for some bullshit like this. So I did a court case spell. And right away, it got completely thrown out. Completely, not just adjudication withheld, not just, I had to take some bullshit class or anger management or any of that. No, they just threw it out. So that, I mean, I know it sounds like a kind of a petty thing that got me back into it, but it's something that happened that started it. And when I saw how fast and effective my, that spell was, I was like, holy shit. So then I tried something else real quick to get a job, because the job that I had was just temporary. So I did a spell for a permanent job. Boom, got the permanent job. And I'm like, holy shit, why is my spells like I never stopped? Like it just matter of fact, I'm doing better than I ever did. And then it came to me that because I started hearing Hecate's name, and then she told me, she was like, bitch, that was me. and she was basically told me that she didn't do it for me, she did it for my dog. She liked my dog. And I'm like, how the fuck, is there a spirit that likes dogs? Because I kept thinking, like, whoever's helping me likes my dog, not me. And then I looked it up, and that's how I got introduced to Hecate. I mean, it was all crazy. Super Focus was so, well, that's good. I'm so sorry, Moonrose. That's awful. That's awful. I'm sorry to hear that. So it's getting on to be 11:30, y'all. I gotta start my love work here soon and prepare. I had so much fun talking to all of you. You guys are all amazing. I love you all so much. Noah, I would love to have you on my channel one day, if you wouldn't mind. That would be awesomeness. I know I'm gonna post another video soon. You're welcome, Adrian, my love. Oh, I'm sorry. So yes, I'm gonna hit you up on Messenger. We can talk and set that up. I definitely will. Thank you, Noah. I've been dying to have you on my channel since I started. Mwah. So much love to you too, babe, and many, many blessings to all of you. I love you guys. Many blessings to all of you. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you soon. I'm going to post another video. What am I going to do? I don't know. I'll think of something good for you guys. Love you guys. Mwah. Love and light. Toodles.